Hello everyone, my name of course is Resonant and welcome back to another video. Now in this video I'm going to be revisiting a game that I haven't really done on the channel for a long time. I have a couple of videos on this that I put out a while ago, nearly early stages of my channel. I put some let's play ones, some things with some friends, and I did a sort of review for this game. This is Life is Feudal Your Own. Now what we're going to be talking about today isn't directly Life is Feudal Your Own, but it's a little thing on the side really, and it's almost a completely different game, but it's very closely linked to Life is Feudal, hence why I'm talking about that now. So you may remember, if you saw my review video a long time ago, is Life is Feudal Your Own still worth it? I recommend you go checking that out. Bear with though, that is very early stages of my channel, as you'll probably tell when you go back and watch it. But I did mention they are thinking of making an MMO version of the game. Now this has been in development for some time, and the guys at Life is Feudal have actually got a couple of games under their belt. They of course have Life is Feudal Your Own, which is the multiplayer survival game where you start off in an open world and you have to survive, and it is very realistic, very hardcore. It's a very fun game, but if you're not prepared to grind, to put a lot of hours into it, it probably isn't the game for you. They also have Life is Feudal Forest Village. This is more of a city builder, a lot like the game Banished, if any of you have ever played that one, where you have to try and make your village, your medieval village, but it also has harsh weather and things that can make everything go wrong, and it's a very entertaining game to play. And they have a final game in the Life is Feudal series. Maybe there'll be more coming out later on, but the game that I'm talking about today is the Life is Feudal MMO. Now, in this video, I'm going to be going over the differences from Life is Feudal Your Own and what things we will be seeing in the future. It has actually been in development for quite some time, but as you'll probably realise by the end of this video, this is not a game that is going to come out any time soon, I think. Hopefully, we will see some sort of testing or beta at some point, but I'm very excited for this. But it is extremely ambitious, hence why it has been a long wait. Now, Life is Feudal MMO version is basically trying to expand as much as possible upon Life is Feudal Your Own. From what I have seen and from what I have read up, is that there is going to be a lot of similarities between them, just on a bigger scale in the MMO version. For example, in Life is Feudal Your Own, you have an open world with players you spawn in, and the max player count for a server on there is 64 players. Now, that is a fairly large amount of people. I think it's the same as a Battlefield server, and 64 people is enough, I think, but not too much. And this is where it goes slightly insane, and I'm thinking this may be quite ambitious. The amount of players that they're aiming to get in a single world in Life is Feudal MMO is definitely more than 64. It's over 100. It's over 200. They're hoping to get over 10,000 people in a single world. Now, I'm not completely sure how this is going to work with all the people chopping down trees, building things. It's going to be absolutely insane, and I have no idea how they are thinking of getting this optimistic idea out into the real world. But imagine if they could pull that off, 10,000 people in a single game world. Of course, this is an MMO, so there will be cutbacks to the sort of stuff that you can see in Life is Feudal Your Own, but still, 10,000 people, that's an insanely big number, and I don't think that has ever really been done in this type of game before. Any of you that have played Life is Feudal Your Own will know that the map is pretty big. To run across the whole thing is going to take you a good few hours, and that's only 3 by 3 kilometers. Now, the size of the game world that they are hoping for in Life is Feudal, the MMO version, is something like 21 by 21 kilometers, which I think will probably take, you know, a good day or two to run across. But it has been said that it can actually be stretched almost endlessly at later stages. So it looks like if they can get this all working, if they can get the servers running fine with this very optimistic 10,000 plus player servers, or I think they said there's going to be one server, but if they can get these 10,000 player things in the world, so they're probably gonna have it endless world at some point. Of course, in Minecraft, I know I'm comparing it to Minecraft, you have an endless world. It is procedurally generated, so it just carries on going and going. Maybe they're going to do the same sort of thing as Life is Feudal MMO, or they're just going to add in new bits of the worlds and new updates. I think that's probably the most likely thing. From what we've seen in Life is Feudal Your Own, there has been a set map. There is only one map you can play at the moment, which is an absolutely ginormous map. But if they plan to do the same thing with the MMO version, then yes, I think it's going to be added on later on. They're going to add separate parts of the map in as the game grows and as more people join. So, coming on to the amount of worlds, I didn't mention it at the moment. On games such as Life is Feudal Your Own, you have servers. You have servers that are hosted by the guys, the official servers. These are probably the most reliable servers. And of course, you have the player-hosted servers. These are servers that can be hosted on the players' PCs. So you can have basically an unlimited amount of servers. This means that you can have a lot of people. So it may just be max 64 on a server, but you can have many, many different servers. But since they're trying to get 10,000 people plus in a server, they're trying to go for one single world. They have said that there'll be regional worlds for NA, EU, and Russia, and places like that. But I think it's going to be extremely interesting if they do manage to get everyone in one server or one single world. Obviously with different pings and stuff, that may be an issue, but like they said, they'll probably have different worlds for NA, EU and Russia, and Asia. I'd presume they're probably going to get some servers in there. Life is Feudal is a very persistent world. That's really what it strives on. It strives on you being able to plant crops, and then weeks later these crops finally growing, and the reward after that is really nice. Yes, it does take a lot of time to do things, but when it pays off, it really pays off. Now, the whole thing about these survival games is persistency. That is probably the thing that draws me to them most. You being able to do one thing one day, logging off the server, maybe even going on a different server, you still being in the same place with the same gear and all that good stuff. And that's what I really love about these games. In Life is Feudal Your Own, worlds can be started and reset by any time by the server admins, just like many other games. But because there's only planning on being one single world in Life is Feudal MMO, they're trying to aim for a persistent world that will last for years, with living and breathing history created by the players. Now, when I'm reading this out, I'm just thinking to myself, and I'm sure you guys are as well, this is such an optimistic thing for a developer. This would be probably like the perfect game, in all honesty. So I doubt they're going to be able to pull this off, but just the ideas they have are really, really insane. So imagine having one server that lasts for years at a time without being reset, with having these massive maps, with having thousands of people. And you'll have people doing stuff at the start of the early life of the server, and then later on more people join in. And then there's like a sort of a history and a whole backlog and a lore made by the players in the game. That's not really been done by any developer before. So that's a really exciting idea. But of course, I can't stress enough, this is what they're trying to do, and they have been able to do tests on this, and I don't know how far the development is coming along at the moment. But these ideas are really, really optimistic in my views. I really doubt they can pull all this stuff off, but if they can get anywhere close, this will be a really exciting game. So as you know, there's only going to be one server. If you have multiple servers, you have the admins enforcing rules, put passwords on that good stuff. But because there's only going to be one server, it's all going to be controlled as it would be, I'd want to say realistically. So you're going to have your personal claims, your guild claims with all your clans and stuff. So you're going to be able to make your own rules and how you want to play the game. So let's say if you're in a clan, you're going to have some sort of like law or enforcement there, which you can make your guys do what you want to do, and then you're going to go to war with other clans and having your own personal little worlds inside your clans. So you're going to stake a claim, and that is yours to keep, and you're going to have to battle over it, and it's going to be really exciting if they can pull that off. But yeah, like I said, there's only going to be one official server, so enforcing certain rules is going to be very hard. So it's going to be up to the clan leaders and your personal ideas and your personal wishes to what you want and how you want to play this game. Of course, there will be some sort of rule set. With the server, you can't just have people running around it doing whatever they want. And the developers have said that there will be one core rule set, and that will be maintained by the Life is Feudal development team. I expect they're going to expand upon it for what the players want and how it really works. They're going to have to adapt the bigger amount of players joining in and what players are wanting to see. They're going to have to get feedback and develop these rule sets. But there's going to be one main core rule set. But really, you're going to be able to try and develop your own things, your own style to play. So that's a really exciting thing to see. And having this MMO that you're going to be able to choose what you want to do, it's going to be almost... Unfortunately and fortunately, MMOs are getting to the point where it's almost as if you were trying to live in that time period, which of course is probably a bit on the worrying side that it's getting to that advanced point. But on the other hand, it looks really exciting, and I'm extremely excited to see what we can do. Now, there's going to be massive battles and massive sieges between clans, and I'm really excited to see that sort of stuff. With this all-out full warfare, you're building up your towns and cities, but the one thing that really worries me, are people going to get bored of this? If it's an MMO, it's going to take weeks or months or even years to build up to the stage where you can get a massive castle with your clan, with your guild, and go to war with other people with the right equipment and the right armor and weapons and things like that. That is one thing that is going to worry me. First of all, are they going to be able to get all this stuff that they have promised? Or, I say promised, their ideas. It's going to be very optimistic, and if they can pull it off, I'm very excited to see that. But obviously, I don't have my hopes up. It's probably a bit too optimistic. But these ideas are trying to form, I think, the perfect game for the player. Now, of course, Life is Feudal Your Own is available on Steam. I definitely recommend you guys going and checking that out. If you want to see what kind of things I'm talking about, go and check that out on Steam. I'd say it's definitely worth it if you are willing to put a lot of hours into it. You will get your full bargain for your buck, because it does cost a bit of money, but this is a kind of game that you spend hours and hours, you get addicted to it. At the moment, personally, I had a massive break from it because I played with my mates, and we played for hours and hours, and it just took up all the time. You get kind of bored of the grinding. But I went back to it, and it is a lot of fun, really, as a game. But obviously, it's very early in development on its own. But this Life is Feudal MMO is going to be mostly based off Life is Feudal Your Own, but just on a massive scale. What are your ideas about this MMO? Is it a bit too insane for you to comprehend? I mean, this is really, really big stuff here. This is probably going to be the perfect game for me if this is all pulled off. But like I said, it's way too optimistic. I really doubt they'll get all this stuff. What are your thoughts on the stuff I have shared with you today? What other things would you like to see? And have you played Life is Feudal Your Own? And what are your thoughts on that game that we have so far? Other than that, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to leave a like if you did. You know what to do if you didn't. But subscribe to the channel for more content on this sort of game. More updates on up and coming medieval games. And, of course, all the things we have to get our hands on so far. But other than that, guys, I will see you in the next one.